we're gonna do our little intro again for Bronx Net really quick. So yeah. What up, everybody? It's your girl Adaloso, just in case you didn't know. So, and D is out of town, but today in the studio we have
Hanielis Vargas, your younger sister.
Ooh, sister.
And we have Cathy. I'm Cathy, and I've been on my curly hair journey for 2.5 years.
Yes.
And I'm Mio Soti, also known as Mio's Rizos, and I've been on my curly hair journey for 2.5 years as well.
Love it, love it. All right. So the dose of the day today is curls for the girls. Curls for the girls. And as you can see, I have so many beautiful ladies up in here with their curly hair, natural hair out. I love it so much. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. So, yes. So I just want to jump into a little bit of your journey, your curly hair journey, your natural hair journey. Yeah. So let's start with Mio. Tell us a little bit about your...
All right, so I started my journey January 2017. I used to straighten my hair like everybody else. I'm Dominican. Straight hair is like, you gotta tame that kind of thing.
Yes.
So,
identify beauty.
exactly. So I always flattened my hair, dyed it whatever color, and just so damaged. And then like I started seeing on Instagram and stuff like girls transforming their hair. Like they will have damaged hair, straight. Like my hair, especially when I used to dry it from after washing it, used to be like strings. And I used to rock it thinking that that was cute and putting like blobs and jobs. Like, yeah, my hair's curly. And I had like a crinkle. So I'm just like, no, this is not cute. So I didn't like chop my hair off or anything. Because a lot of people, I know they do like a big chop to transition. But I actually didn't. What I started doing, I let it grow out. And every time it grew out, I just chopped off the damage. And that's what I started doing. Then I started like watching videos and seeing other influencers and like trying products, because curly hair, as we all know, is trial and error. There's nothing like, I feel like it's like Russian roulette. Like you don't know how your hair, and like
every wash and go will be the same.
and never's the same, and you can use the same products.
Yeah.
Like I'll use the same routine that I did last week. I'm like, but the curl is not coming out the way that it wants to come out. Like the same. Yeah. So after I started, like I loved it. I haven't really strained my hair. I probably just strained it like for my birthday. Like probably like that's the one time, but I don't apply heat at all. Like, and now like I love my curls, that I can just like take a shower, you know, and just wear my curls and rock my curls. And I love that it's like so accepting now, because I feel like when I was starting, like even back then, I feel like everybody just knew straight hair like that, and they weren't products to even work with your hair, because they weren't like these lines now that everybody, now all these big companies are trying to come out with these lines with products, and I just loved it. And when I first started doing it, like I fell so in love with it, just like obsessed, just watching other girls doing it. And like I would love when people low-key would ask me and they're like, oh, like what are you doing? And like I'll start talking about it, like I get so happy, like it's just like my happy place. So I'm just like, yeah, I do this and I do that. And even like now though, like you still have moments in your hair that you don't like it. You like it more than one time, and then the other time is like I still have that struggle, because like there's like it's a constant struggle. And I have girls like, oh, I love your curl pattern. I'm just like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, but your hair is gold, like, you know, kind of thing. But it really helped me love my hair, and just with the community now that curly hair girls have built. And I felt also like that's what made me put out, like start doing my tutorials and stuff like that.
Yes, I love your tutorials.
Thank you.
I was like, okay. So you need to be consistent with that.
Yeah, you do. And that's one thing, like it's hard when you work full time and you have like other things going on in your life, and then you're like, damn, like I don't want people to think, oh, she put one video up this week and then like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks, you know, kind of thing. So I try to put as much as I can. And what made me do it is because I feel like, you know, all these other girls are doing it, and not all of us have the same texture. Because that's the thing, it was hard for me to find somebody that had like the same exact thing. And when you try what they're doing, sometimes it doesn't work for your hair.
And not everybody will also have the same exact exact, but like close.
Close to. So it's
Right.
like I had to find somebody that's like similar but not really. So I feel like I wanted to be that person to help somebody
Right.
that had my kind of hair, you know, or like
Right.
my kind of texture.
Right.
And also I wanted to kind of like connect more with girls, because I feel like when these girls become influencers, sometimes it's not that they become like famous kind of thing,
Right.
but they kind of like don't connect. Like for example, like Adaloso follows me because we went to school, so she sees my video, she's like, oh, like that's somebody I know.
Right.
Like you can kind of connect with that person because
Right.
you know them, kind of thing. So that's really why I really wanted to do it. It's really a hobby, you know, something that I
Yeah.
really love to do. If I you know, get picked up by somebody, be like, oh, you know, we want you to do this, of course, like I would love the opportunity. But it's something that I love, and I love going to like the festivals, and like Curl Fest this year is gonna be popping.
And I've never been to Curl Fest.
You need to go,
I think
girl.
Everybody was like,
This year's
every
in
girl that I
Randall's
meet,
Island.
yeah,
So
every
you
girl that
go.
I meet, they're like, you should just go once at least for the
Yeah.
experience. But my thing is like, it's just so many people, like, and I just feel like not to sound whatever, but I'm just like, okay, like, is it just like walking around and meeting people, which I don't mind, whatever.
Yeah.
Like other curly girls, like what else does it entail? Like,
So basically, it's like a Coachella for curly hair kind of thing. So people dress up, you know, and they have different vendors. The only thing is that they have it in Brooklyn, so sometimes they're hard locations to get to. So that's why I think this year they're doing it in Randall's Island.
Oh.
So, but it gets so packed, and like your phone doesn't work, so if you're going with a group, you have to go with your group because you would lose each other, you know. And they have like different vendors from every brand for hair, and then they have like their influencers there, which is hard sometimes because everybody wants to take pictures with them and stuff like that. And they have some famous people that go that like on TV, like on Love and Hip Hop, like Yandy. She was there last year, and she was like walking around, and like
I met Yandy, she's sweet.
yeah, they have like different people there, and it's more just a connection. Then you see all the people from like YouTube and like Instagram, and you're like, oh, I follow that person, you know, and you take pictures. I guess it's just a big like social happy event
and actually meet in person.
yeah, exactly, because it's like, oh, I see you, like I always see you on my phone, but now I'm like in front of you kind of thing. So but it's just like a big party, and like everybody just like lays out, like when you go like to a barbecue or something like that. It's like that. And they have like clothing too, so they have like different vendors with like clothes, jewelry, and a lot of stuff. And like also when you want to go to get your products for the low, you know, it's always good to go to things like that because they always have deals.
Right. When is Curl Fest?
July 27th.
Okay.
And then just look out for like, you don't need tickets, but usually they put out the ticket is if you want like the swag bag, which I recommend because last year they had some good stuff in there. And then you get like the bag with
Like products?
Yeah, products. I had like Shea Moisture, I had a bunch of oils, like it's really good, so it's worth it.
Like
full size, yeah. So
nice.
so if you get the chance to get a ticket, then do it for the bag. Kind of thing. So it's good, yeah. And then I have one coming up this weekend for Hue Beauty. Also, I'm doing that one I'm going to that one this weekend. So yeah, so it's, you know, I'm here still 2.5 years later.
I love it.
It's a struggle sometimes because you know, but
everything in life, there's always a little struggle.
Yeah.
But you keep going.
Exactly.
Okay. How about you, Cathy?
So
Tell us a little bit about your
I started my journey in November 2016, so it's about 2.5 years now. And what made me, well, I had overly processed my hair. I kept dyeing it because I kind of didn't like my hair because I wanted it short. So I noticed that when I started dyeing it, my curls became looser. So I was like, oh, you know, let me just, you know, keep dyeing my hair, bleaching it. And so my hair was damaged beyond repair. And then I was like, you know what, I'm kind of missing my curls. And I was like, you know, let me start this journey. And at first I didn't even know that there was a community. I was like, is there really like a community? And then I started seeing more people, and the more I started like getting into my hair, people would always ask me like, oh, what are you using for your hair? And then I just kind of stumbled upon the curly community, and then I found out that there was a community, and I've been going to events. I've met so many people, amazing people. This is my hobby. I am a nurse. That's my full-time job, but I do this as a hobby, and you know, I've tried plenty of brands, and like she said, it's a trial and error.
Yes.
There's never a right way, and that's why it's good that there's so many people joining the community, because your technique might not be the same as the other person's technique, you know, so there's like a bunch of techniques, and no way is the wrong way. Like there's nobody that can do it wrong. Like, you know, what works for you works for you.
your hair.
You know, and nobody should judge that. And also there has to be a balance. I feel like you also have to have a balance where, yes, you're embracing your natural hair. I was also talking about that on my page about diversity. Like, you know, you could be so versatile with your hair, and like there's more than one way, and you shouldn't be like feeling constrained just to one style.
Right.
But yeah, that's
How about you, sister Hanielis? Your hair journey.
My hair. I mean, you were there for that, but my hair journey started at like the ending of January 2017. I like fully shaved my head. It was a huge ordeal. Like,
oh yeah, my mom went nuts.
Yeah, my mom went nuts. I got kicked out, but like it was, and like it goes back to that whole thing of like straight hair was like such a prominent thing for me to have. But like again, like when you do, like I had first gotten my hair permed. I from what I heard from family members, it was 5 years old. Because my hair was like super curly.
I used to do, because I don't know, I just happen to be the one to just do everyone's hair in my household. I just have that other gift too. No, but I used to do my sister's hair, and her hair was like this, maybe a little bit more thicker and more a little bit like smoother, like in a way, and her hair was huge. So I'm not gonna lie, it used to be like a hassle. Like, and I think at that time, you know, Dominicans, they go straight to the crack. Yeah, like, you know, the crack, you know, the straightener. What I say revisado, but how do you say it in English? A relaxer, right? A relaxer.
Yeah.
So they did. I remember they did it in DR. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, my mom said it was my dad and my aunt. My dad said it was my mom and my aunt. I don't know. It was not me. It was not me who did it.
Not you.
And then from then on, like it was just a routine. Like it was like, right, well, it's time for Hanielis' relaxer, and then it became like, I remember at like 9 years old, like it was like every month, like I was going to get my hair relaxed, like for that month. And then when I started to get into high school, like I was like looking at baby pictures, because you know they make you do projects of like your baby picture and all that stuff. And I'm like, my hair was curly, like where'd that go? Like, and I stopped, and then that problems were rising real early. Like I stopped going to get my hair done, like just to get it like blown out, not even that he saw the blow, just to get it blown out. I stopped going, and my mom was like, you gotta go to the salon and get your hair straightened, and I'm like, nah. And I used to do it too. Like I used to wear my hair out, like I just washed it as if that shit was cute, and it was not cute. It was
the crunchy strings.
It was zero cute. It was hey bitch, like that shit was that was so nasty. And I used to like pin it on the side or like pin both sides. It was bad, and I was like, damn, I had fake friends. Ain't nobody told me I looked crazy in school. But yeah, so I was like, I was officially over. I was like, I want my curly hair back, like whatever means necessary. And for like a year before I actually shaved it, I was like, oh my god, I want to shave it. And Tiffany was like, shave it. And I'm like, but my mom. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna shave it. So I shaved it. And ever since then, like, I don't regret it, but it's definitely been like, the fact that I didn't grow up knowing what it felt like, knowing how to deal with it, like having to deal with it now is pretty exhausting, because I personally don't feel like there's anyone with my texture. Like I feel like I could share a lot of commonalities with people like you guys and whatever, but I feel like I have multiple textures within my one hair. Yeah. And it's just like products work for like the center, but it doesn't work for the side, and I have to go get something to do for the side. And then my shit's like nice and loose in the back, but the front wanna act all funny, like, and I'm just like, and then like I was always like dreaming of like having my sister's curly hair where it like falls down, but like I realized my hair is probably not gonna do that. Like I think it's just gonna keep going
up. I dream of having like you guys' hair where it's just more looser too, like,
and like afro style, like, and it does have to go with like my genetics. Like my dad's side of the family has more like kinks and stuff, and my mom's side is more like looser curls. So I got like literally the blend, and it's all over the place. Like I got the loose here, the kinks here, it's a party up in this hair, and I love it though.
So is it still going, your journey?
Yeah, my journey
is always going.
And my journey is still going.
And you never end it.
Yeah. But it's like, I get so tempted. Like, I really want to shave the sides for the summer just because I feel like they need a refresher. In particular, like, I feel like they're, like, yeah, maybe they're still gonna stay this way, but I'm like, let me try again because they're very different from the rest of my hair, and it's both sides. And I think it's because of that time that I bleached the sides. Yeah, it was crazy. When I was like 14, like, it was wild. And
she
so
was staring.
I was like, I want to shave my sides again, but then I kind of want to see, like, if I wait till the end of the year, like, what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think, like, for me, my curly hair journey, like, I noticed, like, my hair, like, when I look at pictures when I was little, like, it was always, like, I never, like, both of my sisters got rerizados, which is relaxers, but I never got one, and I just always wondered that. But I think it's because both of my sisters, you know, the stereotypical, like, their hair was just more tighter. Like, it was a tighter, more curl. Like, my hair is still pretty tight, like, curly, but it was just looser from there. But I don't know, but it was also, like, you know, just people peer pressuring and of course,
it comes from your parents.
Yeah,
you know, and
the community, like,
yeah,
so they just felt like straight hair, it just was
that's what was
prettier,
it.
managed, and it was just like, you know, it was, you were tamed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me tell you, my grandma used to tell me she was gonna burn my afro because my grandma was smoking cigarettes, and she'd be like, "Dilo, where can I?" And I'm like, oh my god, no. Like, you know, I always be like, that's trauma.
That's so crazy because, like, she gushes every time I see her. She's like, oh my god, tu pelo está
They be switching up.
My mom's like, oh, you natural now? I like your rizos. I'm like, Ma, you fake. Like, back it up, because when I was little, you used to take me to the salon every 2 weeks religiously for me to straighten my hair. So now all of a sudden you're for it.
Like, mad fake, girl.
I'm like, you fake.
But I always noticed, like, my hair was never out when I was little. I think maybe once I saw a picture, like, it was like my sister's dance show when I was like 4 years old, and my hair was like,
God,
like
yeah,
this.
I'm just realizing that
it was
too.
like up, half down. But I noticed that, you know, and of course, like, it comes with the times and the styles too. Like, back in the day, we just did a bunch of monitos and all that stuff, like, whatever, but it was never out. And then even like in high school, I did a lot of the slick back.
Yeah, slick back bun.
Yeah, and I also was in dance a lot, so we had to have buns. Our hairs couldn't be out or whatever, so I did a lot of that. And maybe had my hair out sometimes, but I never felt comfortable. Like, I never felt like, okay, my hair's gonna be out, you know, like, I never did that until I got to college. College, it was back and forth. Like, I got into that straight mode, like, you know, like, I just felt like more, like, I felt like more sexier with my hair straight. Yeah, you know, and I was in a relationship, so I was just like, you know, I always felt like every time we went out, like, my hair had to be straight. Like, every special occasion, my hair had to be straight. Like, that's the only way, like, I felt put together, quote unquote, and all this stuff. And then I was just like, no, fuck that. Like, and I started to embrace my curly hair more. Like, I still had it out and stuff like that, but I never really loved it. I only did it, like, if it was wash day, like, I don't know, or if I felt lazy and I didn't want to, like, straighten my hair, like, it would be out. But I always, like, just like made aware of that, and I was like, why don't I feel as sexy with my hair curly when it is straight? Like, I still battle with that a little bit. I haven't used heat in a while though, but I feel like my curly hair journey, of course, like all of you guys, have been up and down. And I think more and more I'm just becoming more like comfortable with my hair, more confident with it. Of course, there's always like things I'm just like, why is the middle dry as fuck? Like, you know, like,
yeah, I'm like, why have this dry patch?
I think we all have that. I've never met anyone with curly hair that doesn't complain about, like, I have this weird dry spot in the middle of my head, and I'm like, I really want to dive deeper into why that is.
Here, like the crown.
It's always the crown area.
And lately I find myself playing with it for mad long. I just be like, it's so dry. And I be like, alfalfa. Like, because I be standing like this. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch base on that. I love it. So just some questions I just wanted to, I think we kind of set in like our journey, just like a little bit of like our curly hair struggles. Just wanted to like touch base on that a little bit. I feel like my length sometimes, like it'll be like I feel like when I put the product in right away, like it'll be like, okay, I see the fullness sometimes, whatever, and then, you know, some time goes on and my hair shrinks, and that's always like, I'm just like, why?
And then I always have to like this empty space.
Like
the ends. I'm like, where's this? Like what? And then I have to catch myself to be like to push it down, and I'm like, what is this?
Let me tell you, like when we were taking pictures,
Yeah.
like it's so key. Like lighting is so key for curly girl hairs, like girls and like all that, because if there's space, like there's an interview that I did with Young Alice. Shout out to Young Alice. They did an interview with us, and I'm thinking I'm looking mad cute, right? Like. I look at the video, I'm like, it looks like I have no hair. Like, it looks like there's, like, cause the lighting was like going, and it looks see-through, and I'm like, no, there's hair there. Like, not that there's like a problem with that, but like just for me personally, like, and my face, like, you know, like, hair is such a big deal because your shape of your face, like, and all that stuff, and I feel like short hair with me, it just doesn't look as good as if it was fuller because I have a rounder face. So I'm just always concerned with that. That's usually always like my biggest struggle, like just length and growing it out, and just like scared to cut my hair, but we're gonna get into that. But yeah, curly hair struggles really quick.
I would say my biggest struggle is, I have so many, but I think I would have to say like my top 2 biggest struggles is definitely moisture. My hair does not, like, it's just like, what's that? And it's just like, and then it disappears, and it gets like super dry. And also just like maintaining the curls, like my hair, like versus you guys is very mandible. Like you pat my head down, it's gonna stay down. Like, or like you stretch it out, it's gonna stay out. Like I'm just like, don't. And like, and I've always been having a hard time with like how to do it to fall asleep. Like, cause I put a bonnet on and I take it off and it's the shape of the bonnet. Like I put a pañuelo on to put it up and it's up, and I'm just like, I can't win.
Okay. And your struggles, Cathy?
my struggle is definitely sticking with length, because I feel like once it starts getting longer, my curls get stretched out, and you know, I have a looser curl pattern, so for me definitely length, like I want it long, but then I kind of get sick of it because then I don't get the big volume.
Right.
So it's like always a battle in between the two. So yeah, that's my biggest struggle.
My biggest struggle is length, only because like when I'm putting my product on, my hair is like long, like it'll be down here, and I'm like, oh yes, like stay like this. Then when it dries, I'm like shrinkage is real, and I'm just like, why can't you just stay long, kind of thing. But I feel like even when, like if my hair grows longer, it's gonna grow like out, like it's gonna be like a fro instead of like long. So that's like my thing. And also so like the dead spaces at the end, like I always have to find myself to like kind of shake it out. And frizz is like #1. I hate frizz, but I always end up with it. Like now I'm embracing it more, but sometimes
I embrace frizz too, because I'm like, ooh, because if you start seeing it like, and you play with it a little bit more, like it gives volume.
Yeah, exactly.
It really does,
so
I don't have a choice with frizz.
All right, sweet. So let's jump into curly hair cuts and how you guys feel about it. I'm gonna jump straight into it. I'm fucking scared as shit. I'm so picky with my hair, always. Like that's why I learned how to do hair since at a young age, because I am just so picky with my hair. Like I've let other people touch it and I'm like whatever, but I'm just like most of the time 9 out of 10 I always hated it, and I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing, or you just never satisfy me fully. So I am so scared to get a cut, but I know I need to get a cut because my hair's been like this length for a while, and I know for certain changes that I want, I need to get a cut. But I'm just so scared and I don't want to do it. I just want to find a different way of doing it. So yeah, that is my struggle. Also, and like just my fear with curly haircuts, even though I know that we need to do it, but I'm just like, So I think I'm gonna turn 30 this summer, so I think I'm gonna leave it long because, you know, there's a dress that I want, you know, that's gonna look cute. But, and then after that, I think after my 30th, I am gonna do a little cut. But I either want to teach myself how to do it myself or go to a professional. I just don't know which one to go to because there's so many
like
now. There's so many now, and
to find a good one that's gonna do good with your texture.
Exactly, I feel like you just never know. So I just want to know how you guys feel about like curly haircuts, and have you ever had a curly haircut?
Yeah, well, I've had four cuts. Yeah, 4 cuts, 5 cuts I think now. And I've gone to different hairstylists. See, I'm very, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm tied down to one specific person. They've always done a great job. Thankfully, they've never messed up my hair to where I'm like, oh my God, I'm going home crying. But I've always had a great experience. I do feel like it is important to get a haircut by a professional because it does make a difference.
Then
doing it yourself for sure.
You can't learn from YouTube school?
I tried that.
You can mess it up pretty easily,
Yeah.
and once you mess up, it's kind of hard to go back. So
Yeah.
you definitely, if you can find, like maybe through recommendations or people, I would definitely advise getting a curly haircut professionally because, you know, they know for the most part what they're doing, and also you get to learn a little bit. Like I feel like each hairstylist has their own ways and has tips that they give out to your texture, and I've learned a lot actually from going to different stylists. So I find it like a bonus, but if you find somebody that it's your go-to, then hey, stick with it, and if that makes you happy. I'm the kind of person, like, I get bored and I like trying new things all the time, so I always try new hairstylists.
I'm that brave with my hair.
And I always say to myself, if it messes up, it's just hair and it'll grow back.
Right. And you know, I try to say that to myself too, but I'm just like, no.
No, it's not for everybody to say that, but
Yeah.
definitely, that's how I see it.
It's
for
true
myself.
though. It is true. Like,
Yeah. With my hair, well, I'm overdue for a haircut, but I had like, so I've only done one haircut. I did a diva cut because that was like the popular thing. So I was like, all right, let me. I was like, so let me try it. I loved it because it gave me like the shape that I needed, and after that, like that's when my curls really were like springy and like out. So that's why, like, now I know I'm like, oh, I need a haircut because my curls sometimes like die out a little bit. I'm like, it's time to cut my hair. Then after that, what I did, which is like a technique I guess that they do, is like dusting. So like if I saw a piece, like I'll cut it off, and I started doing that.
Right.
So, but now I feel like I just need it more for the shape, and like my bangs are down here, like past my face, and I kind of like wearing my bangs like certain styles because I just feel like with curly hair you get bored of just wearing it out, so like I'll wear my bangs out or I clip it up or whatever the case is. So I need it. It doesn't bother me, and I try, like I looked at YouTube to see if I could do it myself, but I was like, I was like, the farthest I got was my ends, and that's the good thing because like, and with curly hair too, the good thing is that if you kind of cut it off and do it, like you can't really tell.
You can't tell.
So that's the only
just take that wide curl and just hide it in the back, put it under the other curl.
I'd be like, oh, that happened, I'm good. So
my God. That's so funny.
And yeah, curly haircuts. I mean, you did the big chop.
Yeah, I did the big chop, but that's because like I was not trying to wait for no like the curls to grow out and then start cutting. Like my hair was damaged. Like I was like, this has got to go. Like
you like, let's start from square one.
Yeah, but surprisingly though, like I have not gone for a cut at all since then, and it's because of my distrust of hairstylists and their like their claims of work. And it's like I had went early on when I had like my fro, like it was really small, like I had went to go to this local person that like used to straighten my hair. His name was Juan, and I was like, I made the biggest mistake of my life because he did not cut my hair. What he did was he picked out my hair. He took a buzzer and then he did it lightly on the top, and when I wet it, I was tight, bro. I was tight. Like it was very obvious that he fucked up. Like I was just like,
how did you learn that?
I pinned. So basically, one side was shorter than the other, and I just pinned the side until like it grew out to like they looked like about the same. And then the farthest I've ever gone is like self trimming my hair. Like I do.
Yeah, y'all already know. What? I'm Ayesha Curry.